What is up, y'all? I'm Andy Story with Wild Lumens, and today we're gonna make an amazing carnivore diet style breakfast casserole. Now, this recipe is from my friend Jessica Haggard over at primaledgehealth.com, and she's also the author of the Carnivore Cookbook, which I highly suggest you get if you're trying to spruce up your carnivore diet and make it more interesting. The other thing that's interesting is that you'll get a $5 discount if you use Andy5 at checkout or use the link below in the description. Now, without further ado, let's dive on in. First things first, let's go over the ingredients. It's a quick list, and this is a quick and easy recipe. What you're gonna need is a pound of ground beef. It's also suggested that the ground beef is a little bit more on the fatty side, so maybe an 80-20 or an 85-15 will work. You're gonna need 6 large eggs. You're gonna need a half cup of heavy cream. Now, if you can get your hands on some raw heavy cream, that's probably gonna be better. You'll also need 2 tablespoons of cream cheese, but you're gonna wanna make sure that it's softened, meaning that it's at room temperature or heated up a little so that it's easier to stir and mix with the eggs and the heavy cream. And then of course, you're gonna need 1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to recommend my favorite salt brand on the market, and that is Redmond Real Salt. This is salt coming from a mine out of Utah and not the ocean, so chances are it's gonna be less toxic. Plus, fans of this channel will get a 15% discount if you use the link below or use Wild at checkout. And they have a ton of other interesting and healthy stuff on their website, so be sure to check it all out and take advantage of that discount during the high inflation times. And one other thing you're gonna need is some grease to grease the pie plate. And today I'm going to be using a Epic rendered beef tallow, and you can either buy this at Whole Foods or order it online or make your own beef tallow. Now let's go over our instructions. You're gonna wanna preheat your oven to 350 degrees. One of the first things we're gonna be doing is lightly browning the ground beef. And what that means is usually just stir it on the skillet for about 5 minutes on medium heat, and you're just gonna wanna break up the meat so that there's no clumps. It's just gonna make it a lot easier for when we mix everything together. Then you're gonna wanna whisk all of the eggs, the heavy cream, the cream cheese, and the salt, and then when you're done cooking the meat, you're just gonna dump that in and then whisk that all together as well. And then the next thing you're gonna wanna do is get your 9-inch pie plate and just grease it down. Pretty easy. All right, so now I have my ground beef in the bowl, the eggs, the heavy cream, and the cream cheese, as well as the salt. Now, what we're gonna wanna do is mix it up and go ahead and get yourself a whisker as well and whisk this as best as you can. I think the key to this is getting the cream cheese to completely mix with the eggs and the meat. Now, if you guys have learned anything up until this point, I'm gonna ask that you hit that like button right now, and definitely feel free to subscribe for more carnivore diet, ancestral diet related content in the future. Thanks so much. All right, this thing is really whisked up and ready to be poured into the pie plate. Be sure you grease the pie plate down, and I will be using a 9.5-inch pie plate today. So let's see what happens. From here, I just want to show you the consistency on how this all looks. You can pretty much see the cream cheese is mixed in really well. There's a little bit here and there, but for the most part, this thing is mixed and ready to be baked. Our mixture is ready for the oven. The oven is already preheated for 350. We're gonna go ahead and place this in there and let it bake for 25 to 30 minutes. Depending on when the eggs have completely settled. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, I've taken our casserole out of the oven. I've let it sit for about 12 minutes, which is recommended to at least let it sit for 10 minutes. And now it's time to see what it tastes like. I highly recommend this recipe. It tastes fantastic. It's easy to make. It's only a few ingredients. It doesn't take much time, so it's pretty much a no-brainer to include this in your carnivore diet or whatever diet you are on. Now, go check out primaledgehealth.com Pick up the Carnivore Cookbook by my friend Jessica, and be sure to check out the next episode of Wild Lumens, where we'll probably be diving into another recipe or hot topic within the carnivore diet realm. See you guys on the next video.